This is the Internet Anarchist, a rise and fall channel whose content is generally comparable to Sunny P2. After only a year and a half since its creation, the Internet Anarchist has emerged as one of the fastest growing channels in the commentary community, amassing more than 200,000 subscribers with their long-form documentary content. And this is Wamo.
It has been over 6 years since TF2's last major update. That is about to change completely.
Scrolling down to his Wikipedia page, you will find a mysterious channel that is supposedly linked to his first one. Knowing this, it would be a series of controversial dramas and takes that would eventually lead him to become one of the most despised figures in his community. Jonathan Lindale Kirk started his channel on the 1st of October 2015 under the name of Wamo, with a particular interest in creating videos related to the popular game Team Fortress 2. Due to the rise of commentary channels at the time, Wamo followed the trend in hopes of becoming successful on YouTube. Despite with the slow growth, Wamo remained passionate about YouTube and took it very seriously when the pandemic hit the earth in 2020. However, his YouTube journey would come to an unfortunate and disastrous conclusion when Wamo uploaded a video in the middle of 2021 calling out a fellow TF2 YouTuber by the name of Zesty Jesus. Zesty Jesus is a commentary channel who happens to be also in the TF2 community. The video would start by calling Zesty out for using the word mom, which is widely considered to be offensive towards individuals with Down syndrome. During a game, JPEG, a competitive player in the Team Fortress 2 community, was dominating the game when Zesty suddenly used the derogatory term mom. While it was not a nice thing to say, Wamo portrayed it as one of the worst things anyone could have said.
Don't sit there and farm, you mom!
Oh, and if you didn't catch that, Zesty called JPEG a mom, which is actually a slur for a mentally disabled person, which in itself is a horrible thing to say to anyone, but let alone another TF2 smaller creator while streaming in front of your audience. Yikes.
A criticism that is rather weird, considering that this so-called slur had already been used by many people as a joke, a synonym for fool or an idiot. Wamo would then accuse Zesty of racism and transphobia, citing his past use of both the T-slur and the sub-A version of the N-word in 2017. This accusation is quite questionable, as the counter-argument is that people are capable of changing their behaviors over time.
2017 was a different era, but what I am saying is saying transphobic slur in 2017 mean that he will say it again. People can change, and those people saying that it was only 4 years ago, it doesn't take 4 years to change. It's a bit disingenuous on Wamo's part.
Zesty confirmed his usage of the slurs and responded to this 2 years later with the following tweet longer. This was in response to a group of cheaters and stream snipers that would bother me while streaming TF2. It was a group centered on 4chan. They were also transgender. They were also French. I called them this out of anger as a result. I also juxtaposed mentally ill with the word, which led people to believe that I think transgender people are mentally ill. I called this group of cheaters and stream snipers mentally ill because I believe it takes a certain amount of level of mental depravity to go out of your way to stalk and harass someone online. I still stand by what I said, in that typing words, slurs, whatever on the screen doesn't automatically mean that you hate an entire subsection of the human population. It is extremely foolish to think this way. Context is important, so I provided it. This is the truth. If you see or read anything different, it is not the truth. Although, Zesty only responded to these claims at the time he was getting cancelled, so he released this to set the thing straight. After Wamo brought up the slurs, he went on to criticize Zesty and accusing him of being misogynistic and fatphobic in the same video.
This time, we're taking a look at Zesty's opinion on overweight girls. Well, Zesty Jesus states, fat girls don't know how to take care of themselves and usually have mental problems. I'm not talking chubby, I'm talking FAT. Right, thanks Zesty. Instead of just being an arsehole who doesn't support charity because they got dominated in a game, or just an arsehole who attacks smaller YouTubers with slurs.
Wamo is again being very exaggerated to make Zesty look bad, as Zesty wasn't even being fatphobic but rather expressing his own opinion. While it may be unusual to hear such an opinion, he is not entirely wrong. According to Google, emotional eating or overeating in response to negative emotion is a behavior endorsed by both normal weight and people with overweight or obesity. Zesty's subscriber count was expected to drop after the video was released. However, quite the opposite happened, as Wamo faced a significant amount of backlash within the TF2 community. It was reported that Zesty managed to gain around 600 subscribers when the video blew up. One of the reasons for this was that the claims were were ridiculous and Wamo failed to understand Zesty's humor. It got even worse for him when the people figured out that he was a clickbait YouTuber. Clickbait YouTubers have become one of the most hated types of YouTubers since YouTube started, so this just added fuel to the fire. Numerous response videos were created like this as a response to the exposed video, including this one by Mr. Seve, in which he called out Wamo for multiple things. This involves Wamo portraying a hypocritical behavior by calling Zesty for being toxic, while he himself was spamming the phrase skunk gaming as a joke. However, things went a little too far when the streamer requested Wamo and his community to stop.
And he said, skunk gang, skunk gang. Alright, mods, ban the word skunt. Chat's gone crazy. Do we have any active mods?
You can clearly see that he's proud of it and the fact that he have the video on his channel. And I understand that it was a troll, but it kind of goes too far when the guy asks you to stop.
Mr. Seve would go on to criticize Wamo for spreading misinformation to his audience.
Some of his videos are absolute pile of crap that serves no use but to waste people's time. It's just the lack of work and research on his part, which you may likely come to realize as you go further with watching his videos. It's like watching one of Tyler McFigure videos about TF2 update, which serve nothing but to hype people as much as possible and get people to click and watch on their 10-minute videos about information that means absolutely nothing, to be honest.
Subsequently, another YouTuber uploaded a video titled Wamo Moment, which shows a bunch of evidence that Wamo has been heavily drawing inspiration from other TF2 YouTubers without giving credit. Now you would think it was all over. The community won and Wamo lost the battle. But the entire TF2 community took things too far that they started doxing both Wamo and Zesty, sending some of the most horrendous videos imaginable to their email address. And because of the pressure, Wamo made an apology video in which he called out those who had sent graphic videos to him.
I was bombarded with a lot of very graphic images, some including animals and some including humans and children. It was the people who were sending both of us these images, graphics, and honestly just disgusting things, and it was the ones between us that were taking those threats and taking it to the next level.
While also addressing the issue of doxing, stating that he does not support this kind of behavior whatsoever.
Like heck, people even tried to leak Zesty's phone number. If that's you who did it, shame on you, dude. That's honestly just the most stupid thing to do, and I really hope you have a look at yourself.
But the people weren't just convinced by his apology, as it felt like it was forced and was just there to fix his public image. The mob hate did not end though, as only a month later, Wamo would get harassed left and right, and every time he uploaded a video, a large amount of people would flood the video with dislikes. Wamo would continue to upload his videos until on the 14th of April 2022 when he uploaded his final video titled Wamo, a new threat to the TF2. Then, he disappeared. Until he came back with a brand new channel that we know today as the Internet Anarchist, who was the iceberg analyzer at the time. Wamo, or the Internet Anarchist, would go on to be one of the most fastest growing commentary channels, with him gaining over 1,000 subscribers every week. He made a video on Tub, racked up 1 million views, got noticed by the big man himself, hit 100,000 subscribers, accidentally tweeted the milestone on the wrong account, and became one of the most successful channels in a short amount of time, with the account only being created in July of 2021. The situation ended 2 years ago, and Wamo, or the Internet Anarchist, has definitely changed and still growing, having to upload almost every single day, and taking his job more seriously than ever.